Countdown timer off. Settings saved. Thanks. Cool. Hey, everyone. Hopefully we enjoyed this week's show. A little bit of chaos, but fun chaos.
By the way, I asked ChatGPT. Enumerate the ways in which SpaceX acquiring Grok and xAI will both benefit SpaceX's mission of bringing humans to Mars and will be a liability, including financial and legal. And I got 4 points of benefits, 3 points of financial liabilities and risks, 3 legal regulatory points, and a summation about balancing innovation versus risk. So it's like a page and a half of response.
That's a lot of response.
That is a lot of response.
All right. Let's see here.
And they push me at work to use AI a lot, and I'm not usually.
That's interesting. Yeah. So SpaceX, at least when I was there, until the bitter end, AI was a problem, and like they were trying to figure out how to make it go, and they're working on building internal models based on Grok. And there were some tests that were starting, but like no, there was no AI. It was very, very frowned upon, and they actually got to the point where they were scanning outgoing traffic and blocking it to any AI, including Grok itself, for export compliance reasons.
Yeah, I think there's answers with internal models that you could utilize.
Oh yeah, 100%, and that's what they were working on, but like they weren't there. They wasn't ready.
But you have to have good training material for that, and if it's all internal, then there's not a whole lot you can borrow.
I will see you guys later. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your sports ball.
Have a good one, Zach.
See you later.
Let me check on Zach, see how he's doing.
I've linked him in 2 places, so you should have got it.
Oh, there he is.
He got it.
I downloaded the software. It seems happier.
Oh, was it unhappy not on the software?
Well, I don't normally crop my face that close.
You are very loud now. You can turn your volume down if you want.
Okay, I'll see you guys later. Have fun.
Yep, have a good one.
See you.
Is that a better volume now?
Oh, I think so. Much better. Thank you. I'm going to order food too. I haven't done that yet. Let's see. What are we talking about? So some cool stuff. Colton was working on. So one of the things, and I think you guys saw this on my Twitter account and all of my socials, but when I left SpaceX, I lost the ability to get rocket launches on my Vesta board, which was soul crushing to me because I love being able to look over and see what's going on. At SpaceX, it was only the SpaceX launches, but when I was working there, that's what was relevant. It didn't really matter. But now Colton used the launch library API from the space devs. So truly like full circle, right? Because I was the one who was like, hey, let's build an API of launches. And then like worked on that with, I think it was Steve Green. Was it Steve? No, it was, it was, I don't remember. I think it was Steve Green. It was someone it was Pete. It was Pete. And built the API, and then we had the librarians keep everything up to date, and it was becoming burdensome. And so the space devs were like, hey, we want to take this and run with it. I'm like, all yours. So I gave Launch Library to the space devs, and now I'm using my own old creation to drive the board. Ironically paid them to use the thing that I helped start, but whatever. So yeah, it's driven by the space devs using the Launch Library API. Colton built the code, and there's a whole, if you go to vestaboard.projecttomorrow.com, you can actually for free add your own board, and you can get launches worldwide pushed up to your board. And I'm looking at it right now. It's very, very cool because I can see like there are 3 launches on February 11th, one in China, Crew 12. Actually, there are 2 launches from SpaceX on the 11th, Crew 12 and Starlink 1734. And and then USSF 87 off of Slick 41. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. If you've got a Vesta board, I highly recommend giving it a shot. It doesn't cost you anything. And it's pretty cool.
How neat is
and
that?
then how neat is it's pretty neat. And then other things working on, Colton, like I mentioned kind of in the show, Colton is working on bringing back Tomorrow Chat kind of in a new version. It'll be column based. Hopefully it'll be able to drive things like lower thirds, the Vesta board, full screen graphics, things like that. Everyone is complaining in the show about like resolution and like whatever. And like, I don't want to in the middle of the show be like, hey guys, shut up. I get it, but there's nothing we can do. Like, I don't know what they're expecting me to do. Like, you can sit there and complain about it, but there is nothing I can do. Like, I hear you. Cool. So yeah, but like I'm excited for Tomorrow Chat to come back. We don't have the capability to use it with Riverside, so I'll work after this on getting Zoom going again. And I got to get like, we're gonna move back to Zoom rooms just so like all my hosts know. I think just as a reminder to my hosts, I'm no longer in Escape Velocity for now. I'm only in general. So if you need to get me, ping me in general. Let's keep the conversations in general because we're trying to build the community up. And in order to do that, I need to break down artificial walls. And while I do want to have something special for our Escape Velocity members, I think that's going to have to come in the future. In the present, we're going to have to keep everything in general. All of the back end, just keep it all in general. Let everyone see it. Like let them be a part of the process. So like, I'm probably, unless I don't catch that it was in Escape Velocity, I'm not going to answer people in Escape Velocity. And if you start a conversation in Escape Velocity, I'm going to move it into general, just so everyone knows. Oh yeah, other things Colton has been working on, good points. We actually now have launches from Launch Library in our Discord channel, which is pretty cool. So if you go into Discord and click on the calendar icon, you can actually see, let's see here, the calendar icon. Actually, I don't know how to do it in, I don't know how to do it in the desktop app. Calendar icon was up top. Oh no, it's up top. This says 3 events and actually tells you like, you know, here's what's coming up, and that's all linked in. So that's pretty cool. So you can use that. And then he's also working on linking it into our Circle app. And Circle is projecttomorrow.com. I'm trying to build a community of optimistic space people, like people who are excited for the future of space and excited for a better tomorrow, right? Because it's super easy to be pessimistic. It's super easy to go into the negative. Everyone does that. That's news. Anyone can do that. It's much more difficult to be optimistic, but both pessimism and optimism are infectious. And so I want to infect people with optimism. That doesn't mean that everything has to be sunshine and rainbows. Like that's not how the world works. But just generally, overwhelmingly, at least 51% optimistic, right? Like more optimistic than pessimistic. And so trying to build that community over at Project Tomorrow. It's based on Circle. I don't know if we're going to use Circle or if we're going to like start pushing people into Discord instead. I just want a centralized platform for everything. Circle has chat. Circle has a app on iOS. Say again, Jared?
Oh, I was going to say, is there an app for that? Because I'll jump
Yep.
in right now.
Yeah, there's an app for that. Yeah, 100%. There's an app. You just download the Circle app. And actually, if you go to projecttomorrow.com and you look on the left-hand side, it says download for iOS and download for Android. Just download the app and then log into your Circle account through the Project Tomorrow website. Working to get launches pushed over there too. And then the cool thing about that is if you subscribe, right now it forces you to subscribe, and I may actually undo that. Because at first it didn't, and then I was like, no, everyone needs to subscribe to all the channels. I'm like, oh, maybe not, because anytime there's an update to a channel, you get an email, and that might not be good. But if you want emails of upcoming launches, if you subscribe to the events calendar, it will actually email you when there's upcoming launches, upcoming tomorrow shows, all of that fun jazz, all automatically. I will say we don't have it working with the API yet on Circle, so like the events are not getting auto-populated yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So that's pretty cool. And then you have, like I said, there are chat rooms, and it's kind of a really cool way to like interact with people one-on-one. So I'm trying to bring as much of this optimistic space community together as I can, right? I don't know how successful I'll be. I don't know if it's going to be on this platform, but I thought it'd be cool, right? I don't see anything like this out in industry right now. So, give it a shot. Maybe Discord might be the place that it is closest. What else are we working on? Let's see. I didn't share this. Let me share my screen. I'll show everyone what I'm working on. Here you go. So here's my home lab setup thing. Can I make that full screen? I wonder if that will. Oh, I can make it small. I can't in big and 8. All right, that's fine. Wait, can I do this? No. All right, fine, whatever. So that is the home setup built out so far. So it's all based on IP. So yeah, we're going back to the hardware. The cool thing about this setup is it actually has replay capability. So if I say something stupid, we can go back and replay it live on the air. It all gets recorded as individual ISOs, and it builds the DaVinci project automatically. So when we're done, I can just bring it right back into DaVinci as individual files. I don't have to wait on Riverside. I can use DaVinci's AI to actually build out the show. I need to get Zoom going, so that's the part that's missing. But I have all the routing going into the switcher now. I've got the ISO recording working. You see there's a shuttle on the right-hand side that's also acting as a primary program video recorder for a higher quality version if we want it. You see the replay console on the left-hand side, and then the iMac driving a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool. And then if I ever get a space, like the cameras are actually going into this all as 2110. So for the video nerds out there, this is all IP. There's no SDI. It's just IP, and then the switcher's HDMI. So it goes 2110 into HDMI. So it's just a bunch of HDMI 2110 converters. All of the screens are native 2110. So the screens are just talking to the network. So all of the video you're seeing is, hyper low latency, full quality, uncompressed, straight 2110 on my Ubiquiti network, which is, interesting because Ubiquiti does not do PTP very well. So it's been interesting to play with. But yeah, we should be able to do, and it's all REMI capable, which means I can give anyone who's on my Tailscale network, I can give them remote control access to the entire system anywhere in the world. And I can give them hardware or software control or both, which would be pretty cool. So I'm very excited for this setup. I made a lot of really great progress. I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. I just want to show that I'm not just talking about it, I'm actually building it. Like I said, the things I'm missing now are like this next week, I'm going to work on getting Zoom. Like I got to get the account going, and I think I need a Zoom room in order to get Zoom ISO. I need to order the hardware to get out of Zoom rooms as ISOs into 2110. And that's tricky because you got to go like Thunderbolt. So I'm going to need like another Mac Mini or something. Yeah, and it should be pretty good. We'll still be able to do screen sharing. So anyone who wants to share the screen, and I think like all the quality problems we're seeing on Riverside, those should be gone. It won't do automatic switching anymore, which I think might be good. But like the thing I've always wanted is we need more switching between individual people. So hopefully we'll actually start getting that. Like when people are going through, I want to actually see them full screen, right? And then go back to the super source, then go back to full screen. I don't want to hang on the super source forever, right? Like whoever's talking, go to that shot. Whoever's talking, go to that shot. Like it's a TV program. I hate hanging on these quads. Like the quad is for when you're going back and forth and then get off of it. But it's, it's hard, right? Because you got to focus on it. Colton says, yes, YouTube gives you poll details. If you can... I am a gearhead. It's very true. I love this stuff. I do. I really do. Right? Like live is my first passion and aerospace is my second passion. So when I had to leave SpaceX, it was soul crushing. I was devastated, but I was able to stay in my first passion of live, which made me very, very happy. And I still get to do this show. And frankly, you're seeing me a lot more on the show now, and you're seeing me more engaged in the show now because I'm no longer beholden to SpaceX. I'm no longer handcuffed. So I'm able to actually put the effort and energy into the show that I was once able to do. And so hopefully we'll start to see growth again, like building out cool things, figuring out like branding and everything else, and working on guests. We've got some interesting guests that are kind of in the pipeline right now that I'm really excited about. So yeah, bringing all of that back, doing some cool stuff there. What else? I think that's it for show updates. I don't know if there were anything else. How's the Launchpad doing? Zach?
Good. Juggling so many things, figuring out equipment. I'm looking at that picture of your room and going, give me.
Yeah.
My shopping cart is ridiculously large with too many zeros at the end, but no, it's been fun. It's been neat learning a lot of new equipment. Artemis 2 are rolling out a couple different partnerships with some production companies, so getting all of that done in the back end to make sure that we actually know what we're doing, which meant stuff started getting delivered last week. So yeah, it's been fun figuring it all out. We hopefully have a website coming out this week, hopefully our app by Artemis 2.
Oh, you're building an app. What are you going to put in the app?
Basically everything. So space news, launch calendar, interviews, satellite tracking, whole bunch of stuff. So we've got a multi-phase rollout that we're working on, but we had an app for Artemis 1 and then ended up firing/losing a couple of our developers. And then we got new developers to look at it, and it was an absolute mess. And so the easiest way was to go back to page 0 and start from scratch. And that's not cheap and not fast, but I think we have a team of 8 or 9 working the web and the app right now. So hopefully it's not perfect, but it'll at least be functional, and then roll out features as they're ready and working, not broken. So
Also, hello, Rita. Great to have you in After Dark. Colton, what are you showing us there?
high testing.
This is the full screen. Let me bring it back over here. Here's the new chat app.
Yeah, so it should be nice, right? Because the left column is the stream of consciousness. The column to the right are things that have been pushed over for hosts, and then you can actually push them on air, and you can push them in different ways that actually make sense. Might need to. I haven't tested on an iPad yet, so I'll have to just make sure that that all works. Because I think some of these buttons look a little bit small to be touch happy, but like, yeah.
Stop. I'm gonna stop you there. This whole thing is either left or right, so you don't have to
left.
click exactly on the.
Oh,
button.
okay. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, I'll test, like I said, test an iPad, make sure that that all works. And then, yeah, I think the next feature requests are going to be if you can pre-create polls somewhere. So like, because part of the problem we run into when we go to the trivia questions is he has to type in the question real quick. If there was a way through the API, and I don't know if it lets you push poll questions, but if you're able to push poll questions, if we could create one and then push it, and then that could also potentially like create like the graphic, right? Create the graphic, create the poll on YouTube, like do it, just one button does everything sort of thing, right? That would be really, really awesome.
Yes, you can.
Sweet.
I can insert one, remove one.
And then
get all
poll
the details
results
about
too,
it.
right? Like if we could get like the results in real time, like as people are voting, get that information up on the screen. I think that would be, you know, really awesome.
Yeah, I should get it in real time.
Cool.
I will have to test it, but it should be real time.
Oh, you're on. Sweet. Yeah. Larry says, good luck in your new old endeavor. Yeah, thank you. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not, again, same deal. I'm not a spokesperson for the company, but you know, I love doing it. So anyhow, I'm happy to get like old chat back because like Riverside chat wasn't great. EVMux chat wasn't great. We try. Listen, we tried, and that's part of what I do is I try new things. I try new technology. I use this show as a test bed, but you know, I don't need to do that with SpaceX anymore, right? Like I don't need to see. I don't have to do any of that. So now let's just build the show and do something that actually makes sense. So yeah, I'm really excited for bringing back a lot of the. You know, a lot of the old school Tomorrow stuff. I did take it. I was walking to dinner last night and I passed by a place that might make for a good new studio in Orlando. So I'm gonna give them a call next week. I'm not really focused on studio right now. I'm more focused on people and making sure that we've got really great, compelling content. So bringing back interviews, making sure that we've got you know, just stuff that you want to watch and consistent content being delivered to the show. Because as I keep saying, the live show is the dessert. It is not the meat and potatoes. And so we need to bring the main entree back into the show, like what we used to do pre-COVID. And so it was made very apparent to me. I was like, hey, what if we scale back the live shows and like focus on the main content? And I was told in no uncertain terms, if you do that, I will leave. It's like, okay, I hear you, community. Got it. So I'm not going to scale back the live shows. I'm not sure I agree, but I get it. Because you like, for the people who stay by our side, you're here for us. You're here for the people, which I also understand. And if I take the people away, then why are you here? So I heard you loud and clear. I'm not going to scale back the live shows. I might move their time depending upon how what the hosts think, so that we can figure out like an actual deployment schedule that makes a little bit more sense. But I don't know what any of this looks like, so no changes to the show. And Eco says live is a type of community. Yeah, 100%. It's just a question of like, again, if we're doing the live show, what ends up happening is everyone puts their effort into the live show because the live show is easier to produce than on-demand content, but you end up with fewer viewers and less compelling content. And so, we as humans, myself included, will want to take the easy avenue, right? And the live show is the easy avenue. And then it's hard to be like, okay, I know we got this easy thing that you can do, but like, we have to make the entree too. And so it's like, all right, let's take the easy thing away. But I get it.
Have you seen that someone has very blatantly tried to copy Old Tomorrow out of the Space Ghost area? Not well, but almost scarily duplicating.
What do you mean?
Like another YouTube channel that's trying to start up that took the Old Tomorrow format.
Oh, there are tons
of show format.
There are tons of channels that do that all the time.
Well, no, this one's like direct copy, like naming convention, structure convention, like everything.
Really?
Convention.
Who is it?
I'll send you a link.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, flattery, right? Like rock on. But yeah, hopefully they can build a community. And that's the other note is that like, and I know you guys hate it when I say this, but it's true. You can just go back and look at our comments, even from like a couple weeks ago. It happens so often when I'm on the show, people complain about me being transgender. They're like, oh, you're too woke, you're too whatever. I'm like, oh, you're calling me woke? Like,
I think that's
you're not listening to the words I'm using. Yeah, I think woke just means anything they don't agree with now. And yeah, so
almost like it was that from the start.
Weird. Weird. But yeah, so just like the fact that I'm transgender, I have lost a chunk of the community that we will never get back because they never want to see me on camera. And so, Do you
want my opinion on that, or?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
That's not really the kind of people that I think we're aiming for in our community. We're here to talk about an optimistic future, right? And I would hope an optimistic future has an acceptance of everyone in it. So which means that we also have to take, the punches of that too, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those throwing the punches are going to stick around. So, if you're not going to stick around because of that, then, that's your prerogative, and okay. But also at the same time, for me, at least personally, with my position on this, yeah, it's not exactly a mindset that's in line with the optimistic future that I would hope everyone here is aiming for. So I don't want to describe it this way, but I can't think of any other better way to describe it other than trash taking itself out. I'm sure there's a much more polite way of saying it, but that's my opinion on it.
You are not wrong. Also, oh my God, Zach, I'm looking at this, even the intro, but it's it's a bad version of what we did too. It's not even good. That's the problem.
It's SNL Tomorrow 2018.
Can I get a link to it? Because I want to see it. But also,
here, I'll drop it in the main room here. Hang on. Let me get back to that.
A perspective of like, hey, like this would be very cool to watch them improve over time and get better.
Yeah. Yeah. They reached out to us wanting a job with us. And then I went and looked at them and I was like, this is a complete ripoff of Tomorrow from Jamie. I'm not like,
No. Yeah, listen, if it worked and they were happy, like go for it. Right now, the thing that people don't realize is like, it's hard to come up with this stuff, right? Like no one did this before. I just have to pull this out of my ass and be like, all right, we're going to try this. And I fail 85, 90% of the time. Like a lot of what I build is not good. But you don't know until you try. Like you really don't, you got to try it and be like, oh, that does not work. And sometimes you try it and you're like, that doesn't work. But if we tweak it and we do this, it's part of the creative process, right? And you got to be willing to take those risks. The problem is the community hates it when I do these things. Hates it so much.
Here's a little secret.
They hate it so much.
Sometimes I knew
That was
You
going to be
didn't
bad.
listen. Yeah.
Oh, that was going to be bad. Oh yeah. No, 100%. Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah, you're right. And I wouldn't, because I would want to try it because it's super. Here's the thing. People will tell me, listen, you're going to tell me that this is a bad idea. And deep down, I know you're right? Like you're probably right. This is probably a terrible idea. This is probably going to suck.
Yep.
But sometimes you're wrong, and sometimes it's amazing. Does everyone remember? Does everyone remember Launch Minute?
Yeah, of course I remember.
Yep.
Launch Minute.
Of course. People kind of like Launch Minute, right? Does everyone remember how much shit I got for trying to do Launch Minute?
From who?
From
from
like
me.
from everyone, Dada. I was
from
one
me.
of the only. I was like the only champion of this idea before we ever did it. But like before we did it, I was like, this is what
Yeah.
we need to do. We need to cut this shit down. And oh my God, I got so much crap from everyone. And I'm like, I don't care. We're going to
It was-
try this.
It was pulling teeth to execute it well, but I never
But-
disagreed that it was a good idea.
As an example, like,
You could call us the forerunners of move fast and break shit in YouTube shows. So
Jared, can you
So
try
we
turning
did-
your audio back up again? You're really low
What's up?
again. I need like 12 dB more audio. You're really low again. I'm sorry.
let me see. I think I'm up all the way.
I'll tell you what headset
Then
you're
you
on.
need
Let
to
me,
stick the microphone in your throat.
yeah, you're on your Shure microphone.
There. How is this?
Why don't you bring it closer to your face? You should be.
Oh
within
yeah.
9 inches.
Bring it closer. Do you see how close our microphones are to our mouth?
Like eat
Did
it
I have it?
almost.
I really did have it up there, didn't I?
You did.
on.
There you go.
Hold on. I'm on a new so a whole bunch of friends came over last week and helped clean up the house.
It's
so
a
I'm
new angle,
literally in,
too.
Like a completely new desk setup here. So give me a moment.
Oh, much better. This is better.
Okay. Cool.
Now everyone
Wow,
needs
boy, do
to
I
move
feel
their
dumb
mic
now.
so it comes out of the center, and there's just like a web.
And look
of
at
mic.
this. It's blocking my calendar so you can't see what I'm up to. You don't know what shenanigans I'm about to commit. You don't know what crimes are on the precipice of time.
But we do. Anyhow, point is, I like trying things, and it's really difficult to do that. And it is never, what am I trying to say? Being first mover is almost always bad, right? Like we were the first ones to do HD launch coverage. We were the first ones to do telemetry on the screen. We were the first, all of these things that you see everyone doing all started with Space Vidcast, including SpaceX, right? Like SpaceX copied Space Vidcast because I brought it to SpaceX, right? So,
I was
and
about
this,
to say,
this
hey,
isn't,
wait a second.
this isn't an ego thing. It's a like you got to figure this shit out, and it's hard. You got to come up with this idea, and it feels so basic after the fact, after you do it and it's successful. But like you don't realize how hard it is to get to success. It doesn't just happen. It's like pooping a pineapple.
Gee, Jamie,
First
how come
mover-
your mom lets you have 2 Emmys?
Okay, fair enough. First mover is hard. First mover captures the market, not always. So, because what will happen is you'll miss the market. It's second mover that will capture the market because they'll see what first mover is doing and be like, oh, they're really close. We can do this better. And they don't have to go through all of the pain that it took to get there. And then they grab it and then they run with it in a really good way. And like, no complaints. Like, awesome. I'm glad that everything is getting better and that we've got more people doing news and more people trying to get people excited about space. This is good. I don't think I compete with whoever the hell they are. Whatever the name of that group was, I don't compete with them. I don't compete with the launch pad. I don't compete with Everyday Astronaut, and I don't compete with NASA spaceflight. There is room enough for everyone. Space should be accessible to everyone. We should be able to get the entire planet excited about this stuff, which means that there is an audience potential of billions. And I don't view it as like, oh, I need to, do better than it. I believe all ships rise with the tide. And you know what? I'm going to continue to try to be first mover. And because of that, I'm probably never going to have the audience base of a Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, because I'm going to fail a lot. And you're going to be pissed off at me failing. You just are. And okay. Hopefully you guys come here for the personalities and enjoy us being on camera and saying nice things. And then like if you get something useful somewhere else, like cool. Like you can go to multiple shows.
Why aren't you watching multiple shows? You should. Everybody brings something different to the table, and that's great.
Yeah, I'm excited to bring back our an enhanced version of our chat room. I think that was always our power for our live shows. I'm excited to bring back bring in polling on a deeper level, so we can actually ask questions and get that stuff up on the screen. If Colton's able to do that, we can start asking doing that really quickly. Hang on one second. I just got
enhance.
Sorry.
Claggity, 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 claggity.
Yeah.
Claggity, claggity.
Dang, Jamie, you're typing like me back in the day.
I know. Cool. Anyhow. Colton says no Facebook or Twitter. That's fine. We're going to focus on YouTube. We're on all the other platforms just so that we're there. But at the end of the day, YouTube is where everyone is. I don't know if that's where everyone's going to stay. People are really pissed off at YouTube. So I don't know who the new platform is going to be. The other thing that might be kind of cool. Go ahead.
Is there a competitor?
No, there isn't. There's Rumble, but they don't count. Yeah, there's no one. People are pissed off at YouTube because AI is claiming copyright for things. So as an example, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, his own music is claimed by someone else. And if he uploads his own songs to YouTube, they get demonetized, even though he is the original artist for everything. And there's nothing he can do.
How is that justifiable?
AI,
it's not.
Baby.
JTTV says creators are mad at YouTube, but viewers are not. I think that's fair. That's fair. That's the problem, is that all the viewers are on YouTube. And so
the viewers are oblivious to most of what the creators are going through. We've got a couple pieces of content that we have written permission from videographers, or we've paid them to be able to use, but then they've gone and sold it to another network after us. And now that network's claiming us, but we already had permission to use it indefinitely for our use. YouTube won't, there's not even a way to give that to YouTube to appeal.
Yep.
You just have to be dispute, I have permission, but you can't give them proof.
Yep. And then if the other entity disputes your dispute, that's it. You're done.
Then they just say,
you're out.
They say, go get a lawyer.
Yep. You're out. That's not our problem. And it's but it is your problem.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
very much reminds me. Remember when Demo 2 flew, and the live stream was eventually published by NASA, and NBC Universal claimed copyright on the live stream and took down NASA's own recording for half a day. And the amazing thing was initially YouTube was well, I don't know, it's a copyright claim, so maybe there's some validity to it. And then they went, oh, wait a second. So it's almost like people not making the decisions doesn't work out well.
Well, did YouTube lose a single penny for doing that? No. Everyone else did.
Are you kidding me?
When we did James Webb, the revenues that we were told in our studio, we only got 15% of the numbers we actually saw over the first 2 months, because they deemed that 80+% of our viewership was bots. even though our chat was running at a rate at times of like 1,200 messages a minute. It was like, those were clearly not bots. Those were clearly real people.
I remember those days back when we were doing shuttle launch coverage and we were on Ustream because YouTube Live didn't exist at the time, right? So we're on Ustream and they had an IRC backend and we would have so many viewers in the chat room. It was just, you couldn't read it because it was just like whoosh, 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 whoosh. And then it got so big that the chat room would start splitting off. And so you'd have like a secondary like -2 chat room because the IRC room couldn't hold that many people. And then it was split off again to like a -3 and a -4 because it was in every single one of those rooms was just flying by. And we were like, cool. And so the way you would answer questions is you would go in and if you clicked your mouse, it would freeze the pane. So you just click your mouse and be like, there's a good question somewhere in here, I'm sure. And then you just let go, whoosh, click your mouse. I do miss those days. So like going back and just doing like live launch coverage. Does everyone remember the colored shirts we would wear?
Yes.
Like this is stuff that no one else has brought back. Yeah, this is shit that like I should go back and start doing live launch coverage again and like on camera live launch coverage because we did really cool things, right? If you were in a no-go condition, we'd have a red shirt on, and then as soon as we went go, we would turn off the cameras really quick and change into green shirts. And actually, they were like sort of green. They had like a paint of green or something, right? Like it was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Don't look in my closet.
So the beautiful irony, when 4chan hit us, we had like 30 channels. Yeah. And that was back in the day, there was one launch. It was not at the end of the program. I mean, it was all the end of the program, but it was like STS 120 something, maybe 127. There was one of them where we were larger than CNN and MSNBC combined. It was crazy. And they treated us like crap. Like KSC was like, I don't know who you kids are. That's another thing that I would love to do. Rather than building a studio in Orlando, what I really want to do, and I don't know how to get this started, is I want to build a social building at the press site for the everyday astronauts, the Launchpad networks, the Tomorrows, the whoever the people that are copying Tomorrow are. I want to build that for everyone. Right? So that you can come in and we just hand off the feeds. We'll have like 3 or 4 or 5 different control rooms. Like you got control rooms there. It's just all pre-set up. It's got beautiful lighting. It's got absolutely everything. Kind of like the CBS building or anything else that's over there.
I can tell you right now, it won't happen. We've been working on it for 4 years.
Yeah, I know. The thing is,
we went all the way to environmental and they're the one that put the foot down. Nothing else will be approved to be built at the press site, period. It's only if you can buy an old building.
Why will nothing else be approved?
That's what they've made that decision. We've been working on it since before Artemis 1, and that's still the rule that we've been told.
I don't believe that no is ever the final answer. So I believe you. So I think it's hey, maybe we can bring this to Jared.
If you know someone high, I think like you were saying in the show, I don't believe Jared knows how much stress PAO is under because I have to give it to them. Like, Artemis 2's coverage has not been great for media I was approved and then they forgot to put me on the email list. So like I missed rollout and wet dress because I wasn't even on it except for my team told me. They have made improvements from 1. I don't have to be escorted to go to the bathroom anymore. That's a huge win for me as a foreign national. But I know for the few people that are on this team, they haven't dealt with something like this since before shuttle ended. For the number of people like that we're hearing, they have no idea. And we got emails 48 hours before we originally thought we were going to get first set up for this first launch window campaign saying, you'll get an email tomorrow telling you how we're operating the lawn. We're still figuring it out. Like they're 24 hours from people rolling in trucks and they still didn't know what was happening. I think honestly, they're probably happy they got a month delay so that they could work more things because it is a huge job, and not that they don't have an idea probably already what they're doing, but it's so built off of Apollo and early shuttle operations that it doesn't make sense. I get there's ITAR, and I'm happy that they are trying to work things with foreign nationals, especially now that we're getting more foreign national coverage, but there's got to be changes made. Like the fact that the president of the Canadian Space Agency and all of their media team are treated the same as I am. Like I get bussed on with them and I'm like, you're a partner agency. This is like, you should have a private escort in a private car, at least at minimum, but they're trying. I would love to see a social building. I don't know how many of the group/channels actually. Team space sounds great till you try to actively do it.
Oh, I disagree. I think we can get Spaceflight now. I think we could get you, we could get me, and we can get Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, and I bet we could get NASA Spaceflight on board. Right? I really do. As long as it's not going to be what it has to be is a building, but each one of those entities wants their own control room. So, okay, cool. Give them their own control room. They all want their own talent because it's all about the personalities. Cool. Just cut the building up in a way where they can have everything that they need. Like, don't force them into whatever, and then also offer them like a predefined switch that they can focus on putting their own stuff in or overriding it. Just make it really great and epic and easy. Give them really great upload bandwidth, like fiber optic speeds to every single one of those locations. Like, cool, done, and done, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that as long as you understand the needs of team space, I think they're fine. Where they're going to say no is if you're like, oh, and you need to use our talent. You have to use our switched feed. You have to use our whatever. It's like, no, that's not what they want. They just want a place where they can go and be set and not have to worry about it, not have to deal with the stupid patching from that stupid fiber box from PAO, right? Yeah, right. You want an actual like real distribution system ready to go, an engineer in charge ready to go, just like here, like. Here's everything you need, indoor, air conditioned.
They don't even have enough patches for this one. I believe the number was 8 news networks could apply that they could give out for Artemis 2. Only 8 people that are not permanently on the base could get it. And we're not huge. We're not EDA and SF level yet. They couldn't even guarantee us a tent spot. We had to have someone sitting at the gate at 5 a.m. with our tent to run to the press site to try to get one. And it was like, okay, this is respectfully, we're probably going to have more coverage than half of the other people with guaranteed tents already, but okay. The press site needs an overhaul. And honestly, I would say bring back the bleachers. Honestly, I think that is a huge missing piece to the press site for a lot of the older press that are coming is that they got rid of the bleachers.
I actually would love to move the press site near viewing, like larger viewing. So
yeah,
I don't think the press site has to be right there. Actually, it could move anywhere where you have infrastructure, right? The big thing with the press site is you have to have infrastructure. And so as long as you've got infrastructure, if you can get the press site where a bunch of people are watching the launch, those are the shots that everyone wants to take. You want people in the foreground of the shot with the rock in the background, and you can't get that shot at the press site. But this is also where a team space building would actually do really well, because you could put talent like up on the roof and then have wide shots and show all of the different team space things doing things. You could do some really cool things with this. Yeah. So anyhow, also good afternoon, Diamond Bar, California.
Hey, I know
Diamond
where
Bar
that
in
is.
the house.
And then Seb says, one more thing about being transgender, it really shouldn't be a problem anymore by now. I would always defend you, and so have many others. And I think with the exception of voice, I think unless you know and you come into the show, you're probably not going to know, right? Like I'm past most of the awkward phase. Voice is a little bit, especially when I start getting technical, you can hear it like go into Ben's voice. But, I don't bring it up during the show. I don't make it a thing. I never bring this up during the show. I'll bring it up in After Dark because After Dark, whatever, we can talk about anything. But during the show, no, we're talking about space. I'm not talking about this. I'm not doing any ideology or anything during the show. In fact, I purposely try to keep all of that out of the show. That's not the point of the show. Now we can do it in After
moved
Dark.
to Florida.
I'm in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Orlando though. It's bright blue.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. It's bright blue in Orlando. It's not a little bit blue. It's not purple. It's bright blue. No. Like there are probably dudes in like hot pants walking outside.
You're on the ground, so if anybody's gonna know, you would. So
well, at least this area of Orlando. Like I'm sure there are other areas, but like the Lake Eola area is very rainbow flags, rainbow sidewalks, rainbow. Yeah. Actually, I remember that shot of the truck that did a spin out thing on the rainbow sidewalk in Florida. That was here in Orlando. Or at least one of them was. Divvy up some of the unused launch control rooms in the LLCC. No, getting into the LLCC is much harder. So because the LLCCs are where you launch your rockets from, if you think getting into the press site is hard, getting into the Launch Landing Control Center building is, I mean, you need full security clearances for that. It's crazy. You need a full-on CAC card to get in effectively.
I don't know how much you know or have dived into it, but there was for a while, and this website is still up, a master plan for kind of changing KSC to not actually be NASA KSC, but to be a private entity that NASA is like a 3% owner, partial user, and then everything else, but it's private. Do you actually see a future of that happening? Because I feel like that would revolutionize how media is done as well, that you would have a private spaceport media hub, not a NASA media hub.
You might be onto something here. Actually, let me spin an idea past you in a second here. Kennedy Space Center will be forced to change when Starship shows up. Like the topology of Kennedy Space Center must change with Starship. You cannot deal with that size of a vehicle from those locations without changing. That doesn't touch the press site. They were going to... hang on one second. Sorry.
Because there was talks that SLS Block 2, you couldn't be at the press site either for a while.
Sorry, everyone.
Clackety.
Yeah, so I know it's because I've got the key. I got one of these, and it's very, very loud. Yeah, they're great. They're really great. Okay, cool. Give me like.
I would have thought it's your nails.
It is. It's my nails on the clacky keys because the nails are long, and so I have to use.
Gotcha.
That doesn't work. Okay, so it's going to have to change, but I don't foresee them. I just, based on where PAO is at, I don't foresee that changing. But the gate to KSC may change, like where the border is. They may actually shove that further in. Whether or not that moves, Team Space doesn't actually have to be at the press site, right? We just need, we need to be close enough where you've got good shots. We need to be able to get feeds from the press site. So that's a thing. And we need to be able to get real-time information from the press site, right? So that's a thing. If we can accomplish all of those, maybe actually a Team Space building outside the perimeter of Kennedy Space Center would actually be better. Maybe where people are, maybe over in Spaceview Park or somewhere over there. So I think I can get the feeds to Team Space. I don't know how to, like, the thing is, like, everyone likes to be in the press briefings. I don't know. That part would break. That would break.
It's the press briefings. It's the crew walkout. It's crew arrival. That's the part that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because like right now, like it's funny because there was an email that went out for Artemis 2 and it's like, here's how to access content. We're going to give you a YouTube link for NASA's coverage. And I'm like,
God,
great. You used to at least have I don't mind if we have to pull YouTube and that's the bare minimum, fine. But they're not even doing a media YouTube anymore where it's a clean, like switch the shots to whatever you want, but give media something without all your overlay garbage on it. And without, so like we can do our storytelling or have there be a way that we can access the camera. Take one of those 8 slots that's still open and put it on an interface that we can just go pull links from. No one's going to bother you anymore at the press site for wanting to be there 90% of the people because they want to be there to have a clean shot. That's most of the people.
Okay, so, and I agree with like, I don't think you have to physically be there for astronaut. Like, you just need clean shots of these things. So if I can get clean shots to a building off-site, you lose access to the press room. So you can't ask questions. That might be okay.
You have a better chance of answering a question on the phone than you do in the room.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. We can actually get hybrid lines set up with the press site, right? So, and theoretically, if PAO is willing to work with us, we could even do a BiDi video feed. So maybe we work to build something off-site. I do LU800s to transport clean feeds. So we do a one-time, one and done clean feed transport. And then redistribution is like 2110 in a facility that's off-site, that's actually close to where people are watching. So you get the energy of the crowd, right? Because that's, I think that's important for team space. And then I do think it should be not a single use facility. I really think I'm really on team space. I really think it should be something where Launchpad tomorrow, Everyday Astronaut, NASA Spaceflight Now, we'll call it like 8 entities or something like that, can actually go in, switch their own feeds, have access to its common core infrastructure, and make it something really cool. And maybe we work with NASA PAO.
I'm on the Team Space you envision.
Team Space UN Vision, is that what you?
No, I'm on Team Space that you are envisioning, not the Team Space we've experienced for the last 5 years. What's
the Team Space you've experienced?
Not very friendly, to be honest.
Well, that's too bad.
We had 8 subscribers, tried to make sure we were above board, tried to source people's content to just do our own commentary, and were sent cease and assists and lawsuit threats when we had less than 100 subscribers. And that's the team. And then we're told, don't even try. And it was really funny when we showed up, and the person that sent me that email saw me at the Starship update a year later with Elon, because they definitely made a face when they saw me there. And it's like, okay.
I mean,
I like the team space I like the team space you have always talked about, because that's how it should, lift everyone. If we all have equal love NSF that they have clean pad shots. I can't do 80% of what we want to do because we can't get those, because we can't get a building at the press site. We have the funding to do all of it.
Yeah, so
the access.
But in fairness, it takes time, effort, and money to get those shots. And I get why they're protective of those shots, and I don't necessarily disagree. My thing is okay, cool. I'm just going to make that available to everyone. Doesn't need to be just you. Let's figure out how to make this something bigger. And I think I can get Tim Dodd on my side, because I think for a lot of these, so for NASA Spaceflight specifically, it's about the camera feeds and the access. And they have their own cameras, and they spent their own time and money, and it's really fucking hard to do it. And so it's not really fair to just go take that without their permission if it's their shots. It really isn't.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But if I'm offering this as a service, they can still do their own custom shots and transport it back, or they can opt to also not use Team Space, right? If they want to go do their own thing. But if we give them a spot at the table at Team Space and okay, well, we want this, but we're also going to bring back our own stuff that's unique to us. Cool. Absolutely. They should be allowed to do that. You have to add your own flourish on top of it, because you need to have a differentiator. I get that. I'm okay with all of that. But for a lot of us, it's not about the feed, the pad shot per se. It's about the personalities. It's about how you're presenting the data. And each one of us presents it in a way that hits a different target audience. NASA Spaceflight hits the hardcore nerds. They want to know what bolt is on what rocket. That is not our audience here. And that's okay. That's completely okay. Also, I'm glad that NASA Spaceflight, when I was hey, let's go over to NASA Spaceflight. Well, that's the other thing, is I don't remove the branding, right? So I was all right, we're clearly on NASA Spaceflight. I'm giving them credit. But I also try to make sure that I get permission. Anyhow, that's my point. So blah, blah, blah. All that's in the past.
That is something I have always appreciated about you, Jamie, which is that when we use media from someone, that credit is right there, immediate, and there's a hard graphic copy for the credit. And I remember doing Space News, and just the library of credits that we had was absolutely massive, because that was the point. It was that if we're using something, we're going to give you credit, and you are helping contribute to this overall desire and excitement for us for spaceflight. I remember we even used to make joke credits too. We made one for a Chinese launch, and it said credit some guy in China, something like that. So because we couldn't verify the source of where it actually came from. So
that's always important to me.
Fun to do stuff.
It's important to me. I feel like it should be a two-way street too, right? Because like I've been on the receiving end of this where people used our media without our permission. And like I didn't do cease and desist letters and I didn't do anything with a lawyer. But it's like, hey man, would you mind just giving us credit? And in all fairness, we've screwed that up too. Once in a blue moon, we would inadvertently use an image that I didn't think was owned by someone else. And then the original author would be like, hey, you didn't give us credit. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, cool. So my option, I will fix this. Or if they're like, take it down or whatever, we would pull it off and we would switch it out or whatever we needed to do. It's very important to me to give credit where credit is due. Credit builds the community. Absolutely. 100%. So, and it's not about money for me. It's about all of the things. It's about building the community and getting people excited about space. That's just what it is. That's what I fundamentally believe. So, anyhow, the one that always pissed me off though. So my version of Zach's story is, Amos 6. There was an explosion on the pad, and there was a videographer who was on base who had long lens pointed at Falcon 9, which, by the way, is not allowed. You are not allowed to have on the Space Force base or at the Air Force base at the time lenses pointed at the pads that are not from the approved launch providers. Can't do that. You can do it from the press site, and only once the launch providers open that up. You cannot point your lens at anything willy-nilly. So they got this footage, what I'm going to say illegally, but like that's a very harsh term for this. I forgot who they were called, like America First, or I forgot the name of the entity that got this. And so it was amazing footage, and I wanted to use it on the show. So I reached out. I'm like, hey, I would like permission to use this footage on the show. And they were like, absolutely not. I'm like, okay, like, is there anything we can pay? They're like, no, you may not use this footage. We will sue you if you do. I was like, cool. So you were in the wrong to begin with. You're unwilling to work with us at all, because you wanted all of the, like, because CNN was running it and Fox News and everyone else, and they were all excited. U.S. Launch Report. That's who it was. They were all excited because they were in CNN, and like they forever burned that bridge with me. And now I will never, ever use anything ever from U.S. Launch Report, because they didn't treat us like humans, right? They just saw dollar signs, right? And it's like, okay, well, you should be doing this for the like, screw you guys. That's not why I'm here. Yeah. Actually, these are a bunch of other.
Going home.
You know, Marcus House, Ellie in Space, Scott Manley, Felix from What About It are all probably Team Space. Yeah. And then like also we could give them access into like, in a lot of these don't have the assets for live, but you want to get that. And we should get these personalities out there doing these live launch streams, right? Like everyone's going to compete with everyone else. I hate to tell you, right? Like if your shtick is just live launch coverage, then cool. You have to compete with everyone else too. Find something unique. And that's going to be your voice, your personality, something you put on screen, whatever it is. We all have the same shots. There are only so many ways you can show a rocket, dude.
Especially all from the press site.
Yeah, right? Like literally the shot behind you, Zach, right? Like, don't know what to tell you guys. Like, anyhow. All right. That's the end of my rant. Okay. I think it's about it for me. This has been a long day, and I gotta go. I got a customer that needs some help. Anyone got any final details? Zach, if you think this is a good idea in opening something up off base, let's see if we can work together. Let's see if I can get Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, involved. Let's see if we can get Chris and NASA spaceflight guys involved. Let's involve people up front and just say, hey, we're thinking of doing this thing. We're thinking of doing it off base. Would you like it? I think I can get Spaceflight Now involved. I think I can, like, I know some people from PAO that are not PAO anymore, but they might be able to get me into a place where I can like work with them to be like, hey, like instead of sending all these feeds to everyone, if you just send it to us, we will distribute it to everyone. And then we got to do it in a way where like, I'll put money behind this, but like, I don't want to just like sink a bunch of money and never get it back, right? It's got to be fair for everyone. And I don't know if that means that, hey, you're going to rent the space, or if I don't know what that looks like. We should talk to people and see like, hey, what makes sense for you? And it could be very well that like NASA space flights, no, we don't want anything to do with this, or Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut's like, no, this doesn't make any sense. I need my unique stuff. Okay, cool. Or like, we have to be at the press site. Like, I don't want to do this. If you're not at the press site, I don't want to do any of this. It's like, okay, cool. One of the things I looked at back in the Space Vidcast days was I tried to buy the CBS building. They said no. I tried a couple of times. Because I was like, hey, the shuttle program's ending. They're like, oh, but we want to do whatever's next. I was like, fuck. So maybe we can buy one of those buildings. Like maybe they don't want to maintain it and keep them up. I don't know. Or the final option is figure out if we can get in front of Jared. Use Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. I think Jared likes Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut more than me because I always made him do sound checks and he always got pissed at me. So legitimately, I don't think he likes me. No, I don't think he remembers me. I just know he hates doing sound checks. So
I have a path to Jared, but now that he's admin, almost everything's out of his hands, unfortunately.
But even like pushing environmentals?
I think he would read something I sent him. I can put it that way. I know he would read something specifically I sent him, but I don't. Almost everything he passes off now because he's told he has to.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So I think
if you presented something clear enough of like, this is the issue, this is the fix, then.
So let's come up with the fix first and figure out what makes sense. Because I don't think we have to be at the press site. And I actually would argue it's going to be way easier to not be at the press site. We just need to find land that has a good shot of all the different pads, something that's near people where we can create an experience. And maybe that's the other thing is we
need to shoot the Space Force base from off the property, which technically you're not supposed to do, I guess.
That's correct. Well, when you're off property, I mean, you're not supposed to do it on, all of that gets weird. But like, let's figure stuff out, right? Like,
I'm here till Artemis launches. I'm in Palm Bay. Call me.
Okay. Like, let's figure it out. Let's talk with Tim Dodd. Let's talk with Chris. Let's talk with, everyone. Let's get everyone together and be like, hey, this is the thing we're thinking of doing. Do you have interest here? Because we're going to, if you're willing to do this, I'm willing to invest the time and money to make this happen. Because I would like this more than I would like a studio here. In fact, I would potentially use that as my Orlando studio, right? Like,
I think it changes.
I think it'd be really cool.
Us actually telling proper coverage of everything that's happening here without putting stress onto NASA PAO.
Yeah, I think it helps PAO too, right? But they got to be willing to send us the feeds. We need the ISO feeds with no overlays or anything.
And then need to be able to deploy our own cameras for 24/7 stuff for when, but before there are NASA feeds is the issue. Is not the issue, but the thing.
Stephen, we always did stand-ins first, but everyone's voice is slightly different and the way they hold the microphone is slightly different. And so we needed to get a check from him to understand what was going to happen in a very dynamic room. And like, it's very simple stuff. Just give me a couple sentences. That's all we need. That's all we needed. Just a couple of sentences, like pulling fucking teeth.
What did you have for breakfast today?
I tried that. Nothing.
I use that all the time at Griffith.
Yep. So then I tried. It's like, okay, you're gonna play that game. So then I would be like, all right, let's talk about something you're passionate about. And so then I was like, hey, let's talk about like airplanes. And like, nope, wasn't having any of it. He did not want to give. And I was like, okay. All right.
My favorite was always people who were like, I don't eat breakfast. I was like, well, great.
What'd you have for lunch? What do you eat?
Do you exist? What do you fuel your body with?
Again, he doesn't remember me. He just whatever. Okay, let's call it here because I got to go. And thank you everyone so much for your time. And Zach, if you want to, if you have ideas on land, I don't. If you have ideas, let me know. But if we want to come up with a basic plan and present it to the other Team Space groups, I think we should build it, design it bigger than what Team Space is today, because hopefully Team Space will grow, or at least have the option to expand as well. I think it should be more than just a broadcasting center. In my opinion, it should also be a viewing center for people who want to come and see their favorite YouTube stars. Then give them food, drink options, things like that. Make this a whole complex. If you're not going to be at the press site and you can do some stuff, let's do some stuff, right? Let people sell swag there. Let people whatever. Make launches an experience. Not just for people online, for people there in person. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.